You can say bitch ass motherfucker, but you bring and stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna give us a good intro. All right, folks. So it is overtime. It's sort of ridiculous. That's right. So if you guys didn't get to check out the Sort of Ridiculous radio episode with Chastity Washington, yeah, you need to check that out.
I was just side 2 of the record. You got to flip it over.
It's the B-side.
B-side.
Yeah, that's right. Seem to way cooler than the other side of the pillow.
This is Sorta Ridiculous After Hour.
This is Sort of Ridiculous. All right. Do my rewound. Do my Don Cornelius. No, but yeah. No, so yeah, you've been doing this for a minute. I want to knock this out first.
Yeah.
So I see there's a lot of people, like I've met people on the scene, but it seems like not only are people at different parts of their career, but people have like different goals.
Right.
Like for me, I would think that everyone would want to be like top dog or just, touring or whatever. But it seems like there are more people doing it as a hobby than I thought would be.
Oh, okay.
So like
Okay.
in your day, what percentage would you say would be people that are really pursuing this to the level at which you are, as opposed to just doing it as a throwaway kind of hobby?
I mean,
Not a throwaway, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, me coming up and the people that I got and have been blessed with the opportunity to work with, it's not a hobby. This is, this is their craft. This is truly their craft. The people that I've gotten a chance to work with, yeah.
Right. So, and actually, I must thank you again because for my first comedy show, which happened at Drunken Cobra, my initial headliner dropped out, and I reached out to Chastity because we were going to be on the show. Maybe a few weeks later, and she was able to hook me up with D-Rock, who we've also had on the show. You should check out the episode. So yeah, you've helped me in more ways in my career in like the past 6 months than I could even like ask for. And doing the show too, it's fantastic. You mentioned something in an earlier interview about make sure that for people starting out to respect the craft. Now, in what ways are people transgressing, as far as the craft, or how can one do that?
Just respecting the artistry of what stand-up is, and doing it and preparing. And if people are paying money to come see you, then you need to go in and carry professionalism, integrity, right? Where you're doing your stuff, not where you're lifting anybody else's stuff. And you be a professional, just all of those things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you seen people's stuff get lifted?
I have. I've seen that, which is it's horrible to see. It's horrible to see because as comics we work really hard to craft, to really craft, just like a sculptor takes his time to sculpt this piece, or a painter takes his time to mesh these colors and to blend into. However, it's the same thing for a comic, because you're developing and molding your work, your voice, your everything, and so you work on doing you, and so hey, it's that's not a total
other people's stuff. So the stuff that Cat Williams was talking. Did you watch that?
I did.
I watched it all in one sitting. I've never watched that much YouTube in one sitting.
Right.
I was like, yo. And then the people that were involved, I'm not like a gospel and stuff like that, but man, was he dropping some stuff.
I just hate that, because we have, it's such a fraternity and sorority in stand-up. And so I just hate that there's, strife with folks. I just hate to hear that. So.
Right. So, you mentioned, with the group that you came up with, obviously, being in the Midwest, so that would it be like the greater Midwest area, like regional, or would you say also like the times like coming up or being or when you started, like your kind of like your graduating class type deal? So, would you say it's more one or the other?
It's more a career for everybody that that I've gotten a chance to work with in the time frame that I came up through, because I started in '94 and then got really, really heavy in from late '99 to maybe 2000, and so it's been a career. Everybody that I look at, folks like the amazing Marlon Hill, who you have to have on here, who is a dear friend of mine and a mentor of mine. But for him, he's a 5-time Apollo winner and did Def Jam, right? Yeah. Oh my God, he's a legend. And so it was already a career, and that's a career. A Chris Barnes, the original Def Jam comic, that's a career.
Right.
And so and then even the different folks in Chicago, everybody, it's not a game. When the people that I've gotten to witness, this is a career.
One thing that I've heard, which is kind of like different about the crowd or the part of the scene that I've been hanging out with, is that outside of this scene, it's way more dog eat dog as far as like the comedy scene is, like the nurturing versus like surviving versus nurturing, or people like wanting you to not necessarily feel. I don't know, but was it really like that coming up as far as being on the scene?
I can't say that here. Like, our scene has grown so much in the last 15 years or so. It's amazing and great to see all the young comics and comics that were young comics that are now veteran comics now. So it's amazing to see. I've seen it in different scenes in different cities, but we do, thankfully we don't have that here.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
Sense that I definitely, I feel very in this past year, it's been very welcoming, and I feel like I've been fortunate to fall into the scene where I have, especially with it being River West, and River West being like so progressive, like the most concentrated progressive area in all of Wisconsin. It's nuts. So what do you say were some of your influences? You mentioned Marlon Hill was a mentor of yours. Who else have helped influence your career, maybe your style?
I mean, I got to, like I said, I was a fan of everything. I of course loved, initially right off the bat, Whoopi Goldberg, Eddie Murphy, but I watched everybody. So I loved like Lily Tomlin, Lucille Ball, right? Richard Pryor, somebody like Don Rickles, right? That type of just everything from all these different places. Jack Benny, Bob Hope, right? Bill Cosby, even with the controversy.
Yeah. Still solid. Oh my! Wait, it did it clean too. Oh my!
Listen, have you ever listened to like, Why Is There Air? Like, if you ever go back and like listen to his albums, he's a genius. Bill Cosby himself is one of the greatest stand-up specials ever done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not Live on Sunset Strip. It's not Delirious, but it's right. Even on his controversies and whatever he was doing with, and slipping pills. But yeah, like all of those folks. Jerry Lewis also. So I watched a lot of people, a lot of TV. I got, and so everything kind of influenced me. And then I liked stand-up. I love Richard Pryor. Like, I would sneak and watch Richard Pryor. I found this thing.
Some of it, okay, so the way I was introduced, like, properly, like, my start of my adventure was going to the library and finding these albums on CDs. I found a Richard Pryor era. I was like, this should not be in the library. The titles of some of his albums, I was like, man, you were crazy, yeah. And and we're still crazy. That's even more crazy. Oh, like what? But
It's genius, man. It's genius. Like I went back early in my career. I bought the box set, so I bought like this whole set of all of his albums, and I sat and I listened to everything.
yeah,
And then even somebody like a Moms Mabley was also a huge influence on me, right? You talking about funny?
yeah,
Please, just great, and really shaped what stand up became.
yeah.
So I just all of those folks.
It's funny that you mentioned Mother's Mabley because I remember seeing some archived footage from one of the comedy doc series I was going on. And I was like, I didn't know people talked that dirty back in the 40s. I was like, I didn't even know you guys know those words.
Oh yeah.
How you guys use? That's like, what?
Yeah.
Did not say that.
See, what was so unique and creative to me was that they could mask it and turn it where it's underneath,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And even if you listen to like Red Fox's brilliant, man. I mean, it's some of the nastiest stuff, and it's so funny, right? And this is 65, 63, 59.
Yeah. I have
Marty Rogers and a plain brown rapper.
But that's what people used to do. I learned that later that people would have parties and listen to albums. And the first time I ever did that was when Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy.
Yo.
It came out, and all of us, I was just friends of mine in high school. We all went to a guy that I was dating at the time, and went to his house, and we all sat and listened to the album.
Mm-hmm.
And hilarious before the movie came out. So it came out like right before the movie, and that was the first time I had ever done that. But I didn't even realize that's what people did. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that was that's a great lesson. Of course, my mom would fill me in on hey, we used to do this and do that. But that's a lost art form that people would sit and at a party and not be watching anything. Like that's unheard of in at this time frame now in 24, where there's nothing on, or you just listening to music, or you just listening to this album, like different world. Totally.
Yeah, most definitely. You mentioned one of my absolute favorite shows, Delirious.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that was the first one that I watched over and over. I mean, I listened to it over again. I didn't get to watch it until maybe almost 8 years after listening to it so many times, which is interesting. What I noticed is that the audio is there's a little bit more.
There's more.
Yeah,
on the album. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something was missing from this.
Right. And then there's a longer bit on the record, too, that Stevie Wonder bit. Profanity, right? Right. It's longer, than they put in the actual filming of it. But I think they may have recorded it. I don't know if they recorded in the same city, because he shot Delirious in DC, but I think they may have taken bits from other tour dates.
Right.
When they did the record. And then the songs that were on the end of it, Boogie in your butt. Oh, yeah. That is hilarious. Put a refrigerator in your butt. Put me in your butt. Oh, my God. What? That is so creative. But he's brilliant. He's brilliant. Eddie Murphy is absolutely...
I love some Eddie Murphy.
I love him so hard. Oh, my God. For the reason, yeah.
Hey, so... what are your top 3 favorite albums?
Albums?
Yeah. Yeah, comedy albums.
Okay. Okay, so Delirious would be my one. That would be my one. My 3 would be... what am I thinking of? Oh, it's a Steve Martin album. It's a Steve Martin album. I don't know what year. Hilarious. I can't even think of the name of the album, but it was just I was in tears.
I thought I had to find this.
And then maybe Richard Pryor's second album, maybe But and my 4 would probably be The Why Is There Air, Bill Cosby. But my 2 is Rich. Like, I think it's his second album. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess before we wrap this up, I'm still a baby of Wet Behind the Ears and all of that. All right. So what tips or tricks or things that you would recommend for people just starting out or considering getting into stand-up?
Go and do it. Go and do it. You have to. It's a hands-on job. You have to literally walk your way through it. There is no because you have to develop what you're going to, what you're going to do or what you want to do. You have to develop that before you can even get to, okay, now I'm going to do this. So as far as stand-up is concerned, I can't say anything about I do sketches on social media. None of that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for stand-up specifically, you got to just go and do it. It's about being up and growing and developing and finding what's coming out of you and what you want, your perspective and your voice,
Great.
So it's hands-on and go and do it.
Hey, you hear that?
Developing.
Just do it. No, yeah, do it. Get out and do it. Practice it. Do it. You can do it. You can do it. 5 minutes at a time.
Yo, you wanna
Do it. Hey, so where can people find you? What are your socials? What are your handles? Where can people look at your things? This is the plug section.
Okay.
Everything that you want to say.
Okay. People can, and I'm looking for a website designer. If anybody's listening, they can message me also. I'm looking for a website designer, somebody. Okay, so Facebook, Chastity Washington 37. Instagram, Chastity, CHASTITY _Washington, Chastity, small titty at the end. Same for TikTok, Chastity _Washington. YouTube, Chastity Washington and Chastity Washington TV. So, and you'll see my face. There's a couple, but just my face.
It's her face.
My face.
It's a good face. It's a good face. I
Thank you.
like it.
Yes. Thank you. So again, thank you so much, not only for doing this show, but everything that you've contributed to.
Oh no, your name is spoken in reverence. In fact, I my coworker, shared office with, also, he went to see the last show, and he had nothing but good things to say about you. But he was like, "Oh, I heard Chastity Washington is going to be." He's already a fan. And he's so.
What I telling you?
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So it's the reputation. I mean, Darren, the reputation you're getting with these shows, the quality of the talent that you're bringing in, and just the reputation you have for giving people a chance to do their material, to not rip them off, to just. Because you're a good guy.
Yeah.
It's generally be treated with respect and like a professional. People are noticing. As I say, I'm not just hearing from randos, in my neck of the woods, but people are noticing.
Yeah.
Well,
you should feel good about that, man.
Absolutely.
You're doing right. You're doing what you should be doing, man.
I greatly appreciate that. That's wild to me.
That's awesome. You're doing good work, and when you give out good, you get good in return, right? And you have a great product. It's amazing what you guys are doing and have been doing here, and then you're branching out, doing your stand up and then everything else that you do with your design and your music. It's going to be blessed, right?
Right.
So yeah, and I love that you have a set brand. That's a brilliant thing that you're doing. So keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna be blessed, man.
Thank you both for you. I agree. This is great. I can ask for anything more. You guys are awesome. So with that being said, this has been another episode. Well, I guess overtime episode of Sorta Ridiculous.com. Smash that button. I could be all smooth. Do it. All right, let's get Sorta Ridiculous, y'all.